Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Numemo here, back with another video. So last week I was in Miami, and while I was there, I ended up hitting up a Guitar Center and picking up the new Novation Launchpad X. For a lot of you guys who watch my channel, you guys know that I do a lot of my performances with the Akai APC-40. But with the new year coming up, I wanted to see if I could experiment with some of the other tools that I've seen people use to do live performances with Ableton. So that's why I picked up the Launchpad here. It's very new to me, and it's something that's really different than what the APC-40 was. One of the things that you can do with Launchpad that you can't do with the APC-40 is that the keys on the APC-40, you can't just use them as regular MIDI pads, so you can't like play the drums or whatever. All those keys really do is trigger different scenes and different clips. So I'm still kind of playing around with the Novation Launchpad X, but I wanted to kind of give you guys like my first impressions and also give you guys kind of what the unboxing experience was like. So check it out. So here's the front of the box for the Launchpad X. Here is the back side, and I'm struggling to get it open here. If you see this top sheet here, it just pretty much shows how to get it connected. The Launchpad actually has a USB-C port on it, and it actually comes packaged with a USB-C to USB-A cable, which is kind of annoying as a MacBook user because it'd be nice to just have USB-C to USB-C. But yeah, here we go. The Launchpad is actually pretty lightweight. It's awesome to just, carry in your backpack. It's one of the main reasons why I got it. Here's that USB-C port that I was talking about. Cable, Launchpad, and that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this unboxing experience. So the first thing I want to do is I kind of want to show you guys what the Launchpad looks like when you first plug it in. So here I'm gonna plug it in, and you see a little colorful animation that happens. So like I said earlier, previously I used an Akai APC-40, and now I'm trying out the Launchpad for the first time. And so this may be already something that people who already use the Launchpad are really familiar with. But since this is my first Launchpad, this is kind of my first time seeing this. So this is called the Launchpad intro page, and what it does is that it actually kind of sets up like a nice little, like, I guess like a preset with a preset pack that already has like a bunch of melodies and a bunch of drums and effects here set up for you, so you can kind of start playing with the Launchpad right out of the box. So here you'll see that throughout the Launchpad it's set up. So here you have drums, bass, melodic, and kind of like a mix of different things you can trigger, different instruments, different effects that you can trigger. So if I start, for example, with these drums, then we go into this melodic, little bass line, hey, hey. So it's like a one shot right here. And then I guess to stop it over here, I just gotta press. Cool. So that's an example of what they have in like this little music section, and they have a bunch of different genres. So they have like house, the way you stop is over here. So this, if you press over here, you can stop and then mute. So let's try this just one more time. So it's pretty cool because kind of right out of the box, using this, you can kind of get a feel for how you can set up the Launchpad for some of your sessions and performances. And it's pretty cool because this is pretty different to like what I did with the APC-40. And then they have this section called Light Show for just to try it out with you guys. I opened up the one that says Analog Jewels, and what it does is that it sets up a bunch of samples, but now it triggers kind of a light show every time you press down, so it looks really cool. I'm one note away from doing the little lollipop intro, the wheezy one, but it's not in the right key. So yeah, I think that for those of you guys who are like me, who are new Launchpad users, this is a fun way to kind of first get started and mess around with what the Launchpad can do. It's fun, and you get the whole light show aspect of it, which is one of the coolest parts, one of the coolest features that the Launchpad has, kind of the potential to, you know, have a nice little like show effect with the different lights. And now moving on to the Ableton side of things, it's important for you guys to know that for the Launchpad X, you have to have at least version 10.1.3 in order for it to work with the Launchpad X. So if you have one of the older versions, if you go into the MIDI drop down, Launchpad X won't show up. It'll just show the older versions of Launchpad. And this one has certain features that the other ones didn't have. So like, for example, if you see like older Launchpads, they'll have like kind of some of these buttons going all around. Whereas what they did with the Launchpad X is that instead of having so many buttons going around, is that they made it so some of these are multi-purpose buttons. And in order for Ableton to recognize some of that input information, you gotta have the latest version, which is that 10.1.3, which I don't think is the latest version anymore, but it's the minimum that you need in order to use Launchpad X. So what I did now was I loaded up a session for a track I made called Gizmo. It's a performance that I already posted on my channel, and I originally did the performance with the APC-40. And so what I want to do is I want to see how it looks like here on the Launchpad X. So here, this is the regular session view. You can tell what it looks like here on my screen. Each row has a different color, and those same colors are reflected here on each of the rows here on the Launchpad, and it's pretty awesome because even like these light blues, like one of them is more like a sky blue and the other one is, I guess, aqua. And you can see that there's a nice distinction between those two shades on the Launchpad here, which is awesome. For some reason, when I was working on this performance, for track number 6, I actually highlighted it in orange, the scene button here, and that's why this mute button is on, because this would activate scene number 6. So this here is the session view, and if you click again, then all of these become enabled. So for each of the tracks, you can change the volume, you can change the pan, the send settings. You can stop the clip by clicking this last row for any of the tracks. You can mute any of them, solo any of them, and arm any of them for recording. Alright, so let's start triggering some of these. one more thing that I want to try, so let's activate these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into session, record arm, and I'm going to record this, and I'm going to arm this first track for recording and see if we can play some notes. Let's go out. Let's raise the volume a little bit of this track so you guys can hear it better. So, like I said, it's off key right now, but the idea is that if you get the right key, only these highlighted, only the highlighted pads would be the ones in key. So in a situation where this is in key, where I have this programmed and in key, you would be able to freestyle very easily by just pressing the keys that are highlighted. And the purple ones would be the root note. So yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like really easy to use and really fun. Like once I get a hang of like kind of how to find the key of which song, I feel like I'm gonna be in a good place to start making performances with this thing. So I just gotta do some Googles on that part. But otherwise, I'm having a lot of fun with this. I was actually kind of intimidated to use a Launchpad. Just having so many different buttons is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of daunting to like see all these buttons and like, do I have to program all of these? How does this work? But getting to learn the Launchpad X has been pretty simple, and I'm excited to kind of start making performances with this thing. It's like I said, one thing that I haven't mentioned yet is how portable this thing is. Like I carried this in a backpack coming from Miami to New York, and it was really easy to carry, very light. So it's dope for me. Like I look forward to kind of carrying this places and working on performances outdoors and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions on the Launchpad X. I'm still learning about it, so maybe I don't have all the answers, but maybe some other folks in the community can help answer some of these questions. And yeah, like, awesome. I'm having a lot of fun with it so far, so I'm sure this is just the beginning of seeing me work on stuff with this this device here. I've already started messing with it on iOS, and I have a couple video ideas for that too. But yeah, always remember, create with what you have. You don't need much, even though I keep buying toys, right? But I will say, give it to myself, I pretty much used the APC-40 all year for 2019, so I'm excited to bring in 2020 with some new toys. That way I can make more interesting videos for you guys. If this is your first time on the channel, please make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, comment, let me know your thoughts, hit me up with some questions. And yeah guys, peace out, much love.